Hey guys, and welcome back to another memory plan with me. I'm trying to keep this going, guys. I am proud of myself, but we are moving on to the third week of January. This is the week of January 9th through the 15th, and I am using a kit from my shop, which is called 𝕊𝕍𝕍. That was still our our previous format, not our latest. A few things have changed here and there, but I still really wanted to use this kit. This was a reformat from a kit I did last year, but I just love the color so much, so I had to bring it back, and I'm finally using it now. I just loved the colors, even though they are pretty like typical, Christmas colors, I would say, like red and green. It still gives you like a winter vibes. I didn't make it a Christmas kit. I just made it an overall winter vibes kit. And here you just see me pairing these like alcohol ink swatches, I think is what they're called, from Paper Trail Plans. I've had them in a couple of different colors and I really wanted to use them, so I incorporated them a little bit in the sidebar. But yeah, again, I hope everyone is doing well. I think since not too much really happened that week, I'm just going over like some what would you say, like more important things that went on during that week. And as far as icons, you guys know the drill. I used my icons from our $2 Tuesdays, as well as the foiled icons from Crafts by Towie, and then a few white stationery icons as well. I think that's pretty much it. The snowflake garlands at the top, those are from Sticker Guru from a $2 Tuesday. You can use Jana 15 to save on everything else, or you can just put my name in the notes to get my freebie. And the singular snowflakes I used, as well as some garlands. I think they were from either Pretty Pinko or Paper Muse Crafts. I had them on a little sampler or freebie, as well as like the clusters. I think it was Paper Muse Crafts, if I'm not mistaken. Also, again, if you can hear something in the background, I'm not too familiar with this microphone yet. I think last time it didn't pick it up as much, but my dog is playing with a toy again, and obviously I can hear it really loud. I just hope the microphone is not picking up too much. You guys know how it is over here. If it's not my kid, it's my dog. So yeah. But that's pretty much everything about the base. I do know that in my last voiceover I kind of stopped talking about the having no more kids subject, so I'll probably talk a little bit about that as well. I don't know, kind of use these memory plan with me as kind of like a I don't know, catch all podcast. I don't know. That's kind of how it feels when I sit here with a microphone and just be like, what should we talk about today? Because not much was going on in this week or during this particular week. Plus, it was like months ago. So, I know people do still enjoy when you talk about your plans, but it's not really necessary to go through every single thing I did. Like, oh, I did a hair mask. I don't know. I don't know if it's that interesting. I don't know. I mean, sometimes, it's nice to just talk about the spread, but like I said, there wasn't really too much going on, other than on the 12th, it was my little sister's birthday. I can actually talk about that because a lot of people get confused. Like not just on my plain Instagram, but even my regular Instagram as well, whenever I post about my family, because it's just, I grew up with a patchwork family pretty much, and then I also have my biological family. So there's just a lot going on, But in case you didn't know, I had to quickly look if my kids were up. That's why I got distracted for a second, but they're not. But yeah, pretty much, I was adopted when I was like 3 days old. I was adopted right out of the hospital, and then I lived obviously with my adopted family, with my mom and dad, and they couldn't have kids on their own. and that was in the 90s. I was born in 93, so there was a very, very long waiting list, and my parents were on the waiting list to adopt for 8 years. And all of a sudden they got a call and were like, hey, in a couple of days you can come pick up your baby. And it's so funny because my mom told me that story when I was younger, of how she told everyone that they're going to have a baby in like 3 days. And then she went to the store to buy, all the necessities because they didn't have anything at home. And then the lady at the store was like, oh, you're going to have a baby. When are you due? And my mom was like, we're having a baby in 3 days. And then the lady in the store got confused because obviously my mom was not showing it whatsoever. But obviously she adopted. So there was like a fun story she always told me growing up. But yeah, so I was adopted right out of the hospital. And when I was 11 years old, my mom sadly passed away. And yeah, there were just some things going on. It's hard to talk about. It's not a taboo subject, but there were some things my mom was going through, and they eventually resulted in a kidney failure. So yeah, it was very unexpected though. It happened in the middle of the night. She had to go to the hospital. I still had to go to school because how parents are. My dad, we didn't think anything was too serious, and she passed away that morning in the hospital. And then when I came from school, like the whole family was at home and my dad was at home. And yeah, it was a rough few years, not gonna lie. That was just, that was my mom to me. I didn't know another mom. So yeah, but anyways, that is my family. But then my dad did remarry, and she brought a son into the marriage. He was 4 years old at that time, my brother. And then they had my sister together, and that's whose birthday it was, on the 12th. She turned freaking 16 years old. I cannot believe that she's 16 and my brothers are 20. Like, it's insane. But yeah, so that was kind of our patchwork family. And then when I was 14, I did start looking for my biological mom, and actually found her through her cousin, because they gave birth in the same hospital. And it was a very emotional time seeing her for the first time, because it was a close adoption, and close adoption means that the biological parent cannot find out anything. They can't see you, they can't find out where you live, your name, whatsoever. They can't find out anything. She basically signed her rights away completely, which that's a whole different story. But back then she barely spoke German, so she didn't really know what was going on, to be fair. That's obviously a very personal situation. I will not really talk about that. That is her story, as to what really was going on, why she came to Germany and all of that stuff. But yeah, so she basically signed her rights away. So I had to be the one trying to contact her in order, to have a relationship. And I was, with 14, I was pretty much ready. I wanted answers. I wanted to know why. I wanted to know where I come from. They were like, it never bothered me. Obviously, I grew up knowing I was adopted because it was a, interracial adoption. So I grew up with white parents, and obviously I'm Asian. So I always knew. And that was also not a secret, from my parents. They obviously waited till I would say something. And I think they told me when I was like in kindergarten, I was like 5-6 years old, when other kids asked why I didn't look like my parents, is when I started, going to them. And then obviously they explained it to me. So I've always grew up with knowing, but it didn't matter to me because I had parents. But anyways, I got adopted. I looked for her, found her, thankfully, which, that wasn't the, like, one phone call type of situation. Like I actually had to go to the hospital because the lady who did my adoption, she passed away already, so I couldn't go through her. And my stepmom helped me with all of that because obviously I was still 14. There's only so much a 14-year-old can do. But yeah, I eventually found her, and I've been having a relationship with her ever since. I did also live with her when I was 18 for like a little over a year. And my mom had two brothers after me, who are now 20 and 20. Well, they're turning 20 and 21 this year, which is absolutely insane. When I met them, they were also like 4 or 5 years old. They're 1 year apart. So yeah, they were like, I think 4 and 5, if I'm not mistaken, when I first met them. Yeah, I was 14, so they were 4 and 5, because the older one is 9 years younger than me. Oh, got that right. And I obviously have a close relationship with them since, I visited my mom a lot. And then, like I said, I lived with them for a couple years. So that's kind of my family. So I basically have one brother and one sister from my adopted side of the family. And then I have two biological brothers. They're obviously half brothers. Well, not obviously, but they're half brothers. But I mean, that doesn't matter, right? That's still my brothers. So I have actually 4 younger siblings, and my dad and my stepmom are actually not together anymore. They got the divorce a couple years ago, or a few years ago. But I still talk to them, and like my sister and I, we were so close when she was born. Like she was my everything. So obviously we're still in touch. But like I said, she's 16 now, so she's not a baby anymore. But nowadays with technology, of course, they all live in Germany. So, but with today's technology, we obviously still talk and stuff. And I can't wait to see all of them because we are planning on going to Germany in November, which again is another topic. But I cannot wait. It's been 7 years, guys. I did not plan to not go back home. For about 7 years or ever since I moved here. But I got pregnant twice, and then when I was planning to actually going back, COVID hit, and we all know how traveling was during the peak times of COVID. So that of course did not happen, but we have finally made it a goal for us to all go, which is expensive. Like if it would just be me, it wouldn't be as much of a problem, but since I definitely want to take my kids, my oldest was born in Germany, and obviously I still want to show them where their mom comes from. So yeah, we made it a goal to go, so probably for Thanksgiving break we will go. And I can't wait. Like my husband, Ryan, he also is familiar with Germany. He was stationed there twice, actually, when we first met, and then when he came back again. After we got married, we lived there again for almost 2 years, a little over a year. So he's familiar with Germany, and he always wanted to go back. There's just, like, you just get to a point where it's like, yeah, I need to see my family and my friends. So it's about time. Moving overseas can be rough. It can be really rough, especially me. Like I just grew up with the same friends pretty much almost all of my life. In Germany, you really don't move around as much as you do over here. So like I know people like since we were 3 years old. I'm still in touch with them. One of them is still my best friends. Like, or at least like 7th grade. Like most of my best friends I've been knowing since I was like 12, 13 years old. Like and to all of a sudden not have them so close to you. Like I missed a wedding. I don't know, one of them is having a baby now, which is super exciting. So she actually gives birth before I come, a month or two before I come, so I can see the baby, which is so nice. I still have a baby of her and Gabe, so that's kind of like full circle. So I'm so excited I'm at least making it to that, her welcoming a new baby. Yeah, it's just it's about time. It's about time I go back home. I was really depressed over COVID times. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it was some rough times going on here. So pretty sure it'll help my mental health as well to go back home. Even if it's just a couple of weeks, that's fine. I just need to go home. So yeah, now I talk longer about my whole family situation than I actually anticipated, but I mean, that's fine, right? A lot of you guys, I don't think, know my full story, but now you do if you watch this video. But yeah, I really, really like how this spread turned out. There was another thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, my voice is going away. I don't know what's going on. I'm recording this at like 6:30 in the morning, so maybe that's why. I don't know. But yeah, I was trying out new contacts this week. It's like a whole nother, like, I don't even know. That's so random to jump to this topic, but it's right there on Friday. Because I got glasses and I wanted contacts as well, because I don't want to wear glasses all the time. I just feel like contacts are more convenient, and I don't really have a problem with, putting in contacts. So, but they gave me some to try out, and they just didn't fit well, I guess, because they were really bothering my eyes. So they gave me new ones on that day, and to try out, and they were so much better. So I'm going to order them because I haven't ordered them yet. But anyways, this is the full spread. Like I said, I really, really love the colors, like the kind of muted red, I don't know. I'm not just saying that because it's my kit, But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in the next one, hopefully, if you decide to tune back in. And I'll see you then. Bye.
Life goes up and it goes down. I know my mom taught me that. I figured why we fool around so little and we keep track of time.